Welcome to the Cetus farming guide, Tenno. This guide is a comprehensive list of videos aiming to help you with your day-to-day assimilation of different materials on and around the plains of Eidolon. Let's start with fishing. In a game like Warframe, you need a lot of resources, and usually you'd cut down your enemies to get those. However, today all we're cutting is fish heads and some delicious shark eel steaks. Fishing in and of itself is pretty easy. You get your Warframe on the plains of Eidolon, go near a lake, a pond or the ocean, take your fishing device out of your gear wheel and start looking around for fish to catch. That's the most basic way of explaining it. Now, to even begin fishing, we will need a fishing rod, or in Warframe's case, a fishing spear, cause what better tool to use than a needlessly large stick with a sharp point. In order to get one of those fishing spears, we head over to Fisher High Look in Cetus, Earth's resident Bass Pro Shop for all your fishing supplies, located near the entrance of the city. So, we need a spear. Now immediately we're faced with an important choice. Should we pick the Lanzo, Tulok or Param spear? Ideally, you'd get them all, since you can acquire them at rank 0 with the Ostron already. If you don't know who the Ostron are or how to increase your standing, watch my everything you need to know about Cetus guide in the top right. But for all intents and purposes, we'll pick up the Lanzo spear. Now, one massively important resource to get for the fishing isn't the bait. It's luminous dye. Luminous dye makes fish a scanner type of blue color in the water, making them much easier to spot.
Oh my god, what is that?
So much easier in fact that I would recommend always having at the very least 10 luminous dye on hand. You will need to craft it in the foundry, and if you're new to Warframe, luminous dye can be a little expensive at first, as it needs 10 iridite, 10 ferrite, 5,000 credits and 100 standing for every single dye you want to build. But it's absolutely worth it, so just get it. For the veterans out there who bought the Perma blueprint before update 24.6 in 2019, you can just keep on using that, as the let us keep that one. Very nice. Alright, equip your Lanzo spear into the gear wheel, go craft some luminous dye, and I'll see you back in a jiffy. Now with you doing your thing, how about you stop by my Twitch channel on the way?
The Kaban guy, blah blah blah. Oh, she's so good, Jesus. Yeah, I can see that.
Play all kinds of games, predominantly Warframe, but also indie games, horror survivals and more. I stream every Monday to Friday from 8 PM Amsterdam time and Saturday from 6 PM Amsterdam time. How about you come hang out? The link is in the description below. Looking snazzy, Tenno. Let's hop on the plains of Eidolon to one of the lakes and talk about fishing. Observing the lake, you'll see the beautiful environments of Earth, but you'll also see some white spots caused by splashing water. These will be important later on, so keep those in mind. For now, all you need to do is equip your spear from the gear wheel, hold the 3 button, or its equivalent on consoles, select your luminous dye and throw one in the water. Give it a couple of seconds and the fish surrounding your spot should turn blue. Fun fact, if the dye sinks through the water, it fails, and that usually means there's already a dye present, or the water isn't fishable. With the vast network of caves in the plains of Eidolon, this is a nifty way to find out if you can fish somewhere. With the fish blue and you're ready to hunt them down, you can just left click with your crosshair on one of the fish and you'll catch it, holding it in a little fun animation that tells you how good your capture was, how heavy the fish is, and how much standing you get from capturing it. Fish, like almost every entity in Warframe, have a health bar, and every spear has its own damage type. This is the reason for different spears. Although, for most of our fishing today, all we're going to need is the Lanzo spear. It's the most versatile and even rare fish can be caught with it for greater standing gain. But for right now, we'll be focusing on shark eels and mawfish. But those are the 2 basic fish species that spawn at lakes. I've linked a comprehensive list of species, when they spawn, where they spawn, and what bait and spears best to use on them in the description for your convenience. Good thing to note is that sometimes when you miss, the fish get agitated and will start moving around in an erratic manner. You could use the second consumable craftable item called Pharoma to calm them down, or you can just wait a couple of seconds for them to calm down on their own. This mechanic happens when you throw your spear and miss, when you throw your spear and have the wrong spear equipped, or when you wade into the water. Best practice? Obviously, stand just outside the water and don't move. You're trying to become a professional fisherman, not a dancer. Keep still, keep your aim steady, and you'll do just fine. As for tactics, I recommend going into the plains of eidolon solo, taking a warframe that can either move around really fast like Volt or Gauss, or a frame that has an invisibility mechanic like Loki. Just to either kill random incoming enemies quickly, move around or on the lake faster, or to avoid enemies altogether. Go catch a couple fish, and once you've done that, we can take a look at what Fish a High Look can offer us for our fish.
8 o'clock in the morning, I'll have fish and a rice cake. At 10 o'clock, I'll have fish.
Quick PSA, you can absolutely leech off the public squads by going public, selecting a mission at Konsu, launch in, and just go fishing. However, you might get reported a lot for it, risking a griefing ban. Don't recommend this, but you know, you could. I've done it before. Not particularly proud of it though. Back at a high look with our current catch of 10 to 20 fish, we have a couple of options. We can of course browse the fishing wares. We can use high look's tools to cut the fish for additional fish resources like meat, scales, fish oil, and species specific resources. Or we can provide fish for the Ostrom people for standing. Additionally, caught fish can also be displayed in the Tenno's quarters on the landing craft. Alright, that's the basics of fishing. This should get you to rank 2 with the Ostrom quite quickly, when added to doing missions for Konzu, mining gems, and hunting wild quokkas. Once you hit rank 2 with the Ostrom, the fun part, or dare I say, the lucrative part in terms of standing, of fishing really starts. Not every fish in a lake, pond, or the ocean likes to be out day and night. Some fish don't like to come out of hiding at all, so there's time zones to be cautious of. But also, how do we get the fish to show themselves? That's right, we use bait. Now the perfect wombo combo of standing gain per fish to standing from providing fish is the Mercray.
Fish.
And for whatever mental reason, Mercray bait is available at rank 2. They spawn both day and night, and they spawn at the ocean, meaning you'll have plenty of space, time, and places to put your bait. To use bait, you want to buy some for standing, and then put that into your fishing gear by holding 2 or the equivalent console button once you're back on the plains of eidolon again. Once out the gates, we make a sharp turn to the right. For all the homies who don't have an arc ring yet, prepare some elevator music, cause it's gonna take you a while to get there. We head to the rightmost beginning of the ocean. There's 2 main reasons for that. 1, enemy spawns are low, especially when going undetected. 2, every now and again a low level thumper can spawn, which you can kill for additional resources. This is true for the left side ocean as well, but the enemy spawns are more dense there, which is a bit annoying. Now, do you remember the splashing water spots? Those are called hotspots. Hotspots are your friend because they spawn more fish, especially when using bait, which costs standing. Best practice is to get as many fish as possible to appear on use. For standing farm, large mercrays is what you want. They give you 500 to 2000 standing, depends on the size, for capturing them, which means with the appropriate mastery rank, you can max out your standing limit within 10 to 20 minutes each and every day, making fishing pretty much the gold standard to rank up as fast as possible, or when you're already max rank, the way to farm standing to purchase items. Obviously, every single one of you will develop their own favorite spots for fishing, however I'd like to show you my favorite spots for good spawns, easy walking around, and minimal enemies to deal with while you're trying to catch a big one. Number 1 is the Garatode Lake on the mainland, where it just crosses into being a river. It's just a very chill spot. Number 2 is the little sentient remainder island on the Garatode Lake. It's just a neat little spot close to no enemies and very frequent hotspots. For ponds, I like to go to the Geyser. It's a fun spot. It's right behind the 2 horns. You can't really miss it. Everybody knows it. It's also pretty much near the most favorite cave to mine stuff, so you'll know it. For the ocean spots, you can use 2 spots mentioned in the beginning of the video. Again, chill spots, not a whole lot of enemies on the left side, practically none on the right side, but pick whatever spot you like. I've linked a map with all common spots in the description below. Now to some fun facts and honorable mentions. Some weird interactions can be found while fishing. For example, Ivara's navigator can take control of thrown bait, but can't move them. Bolt's passive can circumvent having to use a different spear every time. Move around a little, build up static, and it gets added to the damage of the spear. Sometimes, when very unlucky, you'll miss, hit the ground, and capture a boot. And that's all about I know actually. Alright, you can capture a bunch of Easter eggs, secret fish around the different locations on the plains of eidolon. With a secret reward too. Anyhow, I think that covers pretty much all there is to fishing. Use the right spear at the right time of day, with the right bait at a hotspot, and you'll be vibing. Take things to the next level and manage your inventory effectively while farming. You can use something along the lines of a Warframe. Leave a download link and a link to a recent stream where I explained pretty much everything there is to know about this companion app. Now, this is not sponsored, I just really like and use Warframe a lot. I intend to make a complete guide of all there is to do on the plains, hunting, eidolon hunting, missions, a refresher of all there is to know about cetus, the quills, how to increase your ranks, how to make platinum with rewards, etc, etc. I'm not going to promise weekly videos, as I intend for these to be of somewhat higher quality than my normal videos. But until then, have a good one, Tenno, and stay safe.